Oregon is famous for its outdoor recreation any time of year, but in the fall when the sun comes out, it is glorious to be outdoors. Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. We're also famous for our wines. Oregon wines, 450 wineries and growing each month, or so it seems. So isn't it wonderful if you can find outdoor recreation and blend it with delicious wines? That's what we're all about this week. Come on along. We are going to look at some vines, sample some wines, and enjoy the fall colors. The fall season turns quiet down country back roads where the big leaf and vine maples light up the scene in Oregon's Benton County.
So the bridge was built in 1929, and this was right kind of at the peak of the timber industry in this valley.
Harris Covered Bridge remains the only way to get from one side of Mary's River to the other. Amanda Seaver says folks like it that way.
But yeah, we certainly get some folks, travelers out here that are just driving through looking for their covered bridges. And they say, hey, there's a winery here.
A cozy, quiet winery owned and operated by Amanda and her husband Nathan Warren. They produce unique aperitif wines from their 4-acre Pinot vineyard.
You're extending that meal time, so it's kind of forcing you to slow down, appreciate what's in front of you and what's around you. So it's really that concept that we're going for.
A fine concept that links visitors to a timeless setting when the town of Harris, Oregon was a bustling whistle-stop timber town along a railroad that connected Corvallis with the coast.
The river, it's the trees, it's the mountains, the sky, the dirt, and then you have the bridge, which is just this added beauty and reminder of the past, what's come before us. And that's really the heart of it. The wine is the icing on the cake, really.
When you visit Tyee Wine Cellars, try to spend time with Dave Buchanan, a pioneer of the Oregon wine industry who likes to show off the 150-year-old horseshoe apple tree. That gets a lot of conversation.
Yeah, it does.
And how long have those horseshoes been there?
Since '68.
1968, nobody wanted to play anymore or what?
Well, Dad put them there, and I didn't play. He always beat me, so I wasn't very good at horseshoe.
Buchanan boasts 5 generations of family that have worked the Oregon Century Farm. Back in the 1970s, he turned from dairy to wine grapes.
Well, not very many people knew much, and I really didn't know much. I actually had 3 or 4 winemaking books, and they all said something different, you know.
Buchanan says his family learned much about growing and producing Pinot and Chardonnay. He takes great pride in their vintage bottlings that recently won first prize in a blind competition among regional wineries. But Buchanan insists his organic winery is all about protecting and restoring the landscape.
That tree I love too. It has a billion different limbs going on.
A hike along the Beaver Pond Trail does much to settle your soul, especially under the grove of 400-year-old oak trees.
I always say my ancestors either were forward-thinking or lazy, because in those days they used dynamite and mules to rip these old babies out. Can you imagine trying to do that, you know? So I'm glad they left them. We'll call them a little bit of both, a little bit of forward-thinking too.
Tucked into a corner of Washington County, the Fruit of the Vine partners with Art of the Season just off Gales Creek Road.
In the beginning, we never really knew if we would sell anything, but it made you feel good.
It is sort of place that makes you feel good and makes you smile. While the Schaefer family wine business has been helping folks feel a bit happier for nearly 40 years, you can sample the Pinot, the Riesling, the Chardonnay, and more. It's the Christmas shop that really sets Schaefer's apart. Thousands of ornaments from across the world hanging from scores of trees.
Each tree has its own little theme. They're great for gifts. You know, a baby's first Christmas together for people who just got married. So it's a great sentiment.
We have all the details, directions, and the contact information for each of the wineries in this week's segment, so you can go on the Travel Oregon website and check it out. Until next week, do get out here and explore the great Oregon outdoors and take advantage of this wonderful warm weather. Until next week, for Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McComie.